Mm, their background looks better than mine. Why does everybody's backgrounds look better than mine? Welcome back to the Red Ones Go Fast. Old Big Mek here, and today I am taking you behind the red curtain to see my studio and how we are going to upgrade it. That's right, we are doing something a little different in this one, but I think definitely going to apply to a lot of you. Obviously, not everybody has a YouTube channel and needs a studio setup, but let's face it, my studio setup is a glorified hobby area. It's just my painting desk and my minis up on some shelving, which is, I'm sure, something very similar to what most of you have. The difference is stuff going up on the wall, right? Most of us have regular items, and not everybody looks like Val racks in the background or whatnot, but I've noticed that a lot of YouTubers have really tried to make the background nice so that when they do these videos, when they're talking to you, it's pleasant to look at. And well, mine is a Squig Sty. And I don't mean that in jest. It's literally a Squig Sty. I'm going to take you on a very embarrassing tour behind the scenes. Ready? We have boxes on boxes on boxes down there. Boxes on boxes on boxes over there. And look, under the desk, more boxes. And it's like that literally everywhere. Even the closet is full of boxes. Down here is junk on the floor and more boxes. So you can see what I'm saying, that this, as nice as it may look, is all fake. So what does that have to do with you, and what does that have to do with Warhammer? Well, a couple of things. One is, as we've talked about in other videos, when you have a nice clean workspace where everything is in its place so you know where to get whatever tool or paint or supply or model you're looking for, it makes your hobby time a lot nicer and easier and allows you to focus and concentrate on what it is that you are building or painting. And well, I can't do that right now. And I'm not just talking about the current projects holding up the project area. I'm talking about the projects on projects blocking access to the paint that is missing because it's scattered everywhere in piles of random paint, not to mention multiple army projects going on at the same time. And playing isn't much better. You can see my rulebook collection is down here in literally the dungeon. Same thing with getting to whatever models I want to build next. They are being blocked by things. And let me show you how I access my army. All the way underneath here, all the way behind all of that, way back there, those are my tubs full of orcs. So, as you see, it's not a good place to build things, it's not a good place to paint things, and I'm definitely not in a good place to play a game. Basically, I keep just enough clean to be able to do these YouTube videos, and well, that's affecting my ability to enjoy my hobby and also to make the videos, because I have to be able to build things and paint things in order to do cool videos on subjects instead of just talking about things, which is definitely part and parcel of the Red Ones Go Fast. We're all about kit bashing and, you know, all of those little tips and tricks with building and modeling and painting, you know, armies and stuff that I just frankly haven't been able to show. So we definitely need to fix that. And that's where the second part comes in. As I've said, and as those of you that have been on this channel for a good long while know, Old Big Mek here is all about saving teeth wherever possible. Life is expensive and hobbies are expensive, but it doesn't mean that we can't enjoy it. And there are definitely things you can do to make your workspace better or nicer with cheap stuff. I mean, I did a whole thing on that little IKEA lamp that is way cheaper than any of the actual hobby lamps and seems to work really pretty darn good. There are other hacks and places and things that you can do to make your hobby area, you know, better for you and make your display area and your storage solutions better so that when you do sit down to hobby, again, you can just put all of your energy into focusing on what you're actually doing. So let's get into it. And here's where we get even more crossover with the Warhammer hobby. When we talk about doing something big, like building an army, like we did with our Beast Snag army, or painting a whole army, we definitely talk about trying to get some sort of momentum going, doing something big in order to fire off all those awesome endorphins in your brain that make you excited to keep going on the project. And it's no different doing a chore project than a hobby project. So we need to do something big to this Squig Sty so that it already starts looking like progress is happening. And I know just the thing. And that thing is going to be to build a Mega Gargant out of all of my boxes. Ta-da! Okay, I know it doesn't look any different to you, but again, peek behind the curtain. Look, that whole pile gone. That pile gone. Obviously, the packed ones are still in there, but all of the empty boxes that I use for shipping things have been actually packaged back down, stacked within each other, and put out in the garage with all of my other boxes. Now, most normal people don't need to hold on to boxes like that. In case you haven't figured it out yet, old Big Mek here is far from normal. I've actually been buying and selling things on eBay since 1997. I told you I was old. And so as a result, I actually do legitimately ship things all the time. You guys that are my patrons know this with my old Big Mek's bit service, which is something that's still going on. If you're interested, it's I sell bits, Games Workshop guaranteed plastic bits. You can buy it by the ounce, either unsorted or sorted. In the sorted, you tell me what you're looking for, and I do my best to fill that order, whether it's parts to build vehicles or orky things or Genestealer Cult or Eldar or whatever it is you want. I can put it together by the ounce. You have to be a member of my Patreon in order to access that. So if you want to do that, it's $5 a month, and it's down in the description below. But the long and the short of it is, where I was going with that thought train, is that I shipped out dozens of boxes of bits. And so having the boxes around of the various sizes in order to ship things out is definitely a plus for me. Things like my Beast Snag army. The only reason I was able to get that was because I sold my Blood Angels Firstborn army that I was converting for $30K. Again, sold that on eBay, sold the whole army as a painted army, packed everything up individually, put it all in a great big box, and shipped it on out of here. So I actually do shipping a lot. I have a commercial account on USPS and everything. So having boxes around is kind of a normal thing for me. If it's not a normal thing for you, get rid of them. Cut them down, get them in the recycling, get them out of your life. You will have so much more room and you'll be happier with it. All right, so a fairly simple but fairly dramatic change has happened. I've got all the little happy chemicals firing. I want to keep that going. What's next? Well, again, we're going to keep it simple, stupid, and we're going to put some things away where they belong. Obviously, I got a lot of that I can do, but this is true for every workspace, every desk or hobby area or whatnot. Unless you're actively working on the project right now, like if I have a paintbrush in my hand right now and I have paints out, that's fine. But when you're done, putting them all back on the rack, putting the paintbrushes away where they belong, putting, like right now I'm working on some modeling and some kit bashing. I've got all my spare parts out everywhere and all my bins for those guys. I should just put them all away. In fact, there they are, taking up not only valuable floor space for real estate, but blocking access to the drawers that do have other supplies in them. Same thing with my rule books. I don't need them right now. I can put them back on the shelf. Even though it's a pain in the butt to get to, it's better than having them out. And voila! Okay, this time I can say the ta-da, and you should notice a change. There's not a box there anymore. In fact, Look at all the floor space I have already in just a little bit of work. I was able to put all my bits bins away, put all of my rule books away, put out everything that I've just kind of had out and scattered that I haven't been doing a good job with putting away. And that has definitely made a dramatic difference in the feel of this room to me. I'm not trying to maneuver my chair in a tight corner surrounded by crap on the floor. I actually have floor again, and I have access to those drawers, so now I can put away all the things on my desk. Because remember, it's a disaster. And cue the pan back the other way, and look at that. All right, and just like that, a little bit of work in, and we have made huge progress on how this feels and how it functions. Now, it's by no means perfect or even close to done, but I am making positive forward progress that can be seen. And this is all really important because in part 2, we're going to actually be making some structural changes. Now that we've got the cleanup part done, it's time to transition to the upgrades. Yep, that's right. I said upgrades. Things are going to be changing around here, not just for the visuals, but definitely for the functionality of the space as a whole, not just for YouTube, but for me myself, for actually hobbying in my hobby area. So I hope that you find that interesting and stay tuned for that episode here on Do Red Ones Go Faster. Until next time, rock on!